In today's video, we're going to show you how to freestyle rap like Kendrick Lamar using examples from his content freely available on YouTube, analyzing his breath control, his lyrical complexity, and the subliminal references he makes when freestyling. Now, there's a lot of debate in the culture about the true definition of freestyle, but not to worry, King Kenny does them both. So we'll analyze them here today, step by step, in both ways. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm your host, Drew Morrissey, and this is How to Freestyle Rap like Kendrick Lamar. Now, before we begin, if you're interested in learning how to freestyle rap or just a major fan of rap music, be sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications because we drop not only weekly videos on everything on how to freestyle rap and improve your rap skills overall, but we'll be dropping a how to freestyle rap like J. Cole, how to freestyle rap like Kanye West episode, and even more. And if you're serious about learning how to freestyle rap in just 2 weeks or less, visit the first link in the video description box below to learn about our #1 freestyle course, as well as some bonus free courses on freestyling right down below. Now, there are two operative ways that the phrase freestyle is used in rap, and as we said at the beginning, Kendrick Lamar uses both.
Parasites in my stomach keep me with a good feeling, y'all. Gotta see how I'm chillin' once I park this luxury car. Hopping out feeling big as Mutombo. 20 on pump 6, Dirty Marcellus called me Dumbo. 20 years ago, can't forget. If you come around my city, you'll get something. The neighborhood Watts at Long Beach. Boy, you're out the reach. This is TDE, Absol, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q. We hot, you're not.
The definition you're probably most acquainted with is going off the top or spontaneously thinking of raps on the spot with no pre-thought. That's one definition of freestyle, and many a hip-hop purist will tell you that's the only true definition of freestyle. Far be it from us at How to Rap to disagree with that particular point. However, we and you should be aware that when you see LA Leakers freestyle or Hot 97 freestyle of your favorite rapper on YouTube, it may be a usage of the second definition. The second definition would be an unreleased written verse, regardless of length, with no chorus, often over a famous instrumental as opposed to a new song. In other words, a pre-written, unreleased verse on a popular beat. Now, in the case of Kendrick Lamar freestyles you find on YouTube, what's pretty impressive about his work is that he has several performances of the second definition, pre-written, unreleased verses, but more recently, he seems to have decided to take it back to the essence and truly go off the top spontaneously as well. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how can I tell when Kendrick Lamar is truly going off the top versus spitting a pre-written, unreleased verse? Let's look at 3 signs that Kendrick is rapping a pre-written verse versus when he's truly going off the top in our estimation. First is less breath and pauses. Not that definition, pauses as in stopping talking. One of the easiest ways to identify when something is written and placed on a different instrumental as a pre-written freestyle is the amount of breath control and lack of pauses literally the rapper is taking. Let's look at Kendrick rapping a previously unreleased verse over Nas's Get Down in 2014 that would end up in To Pimp a Butterfly in spring 2015.
Parasites in my stomach keep me with a good feeling, y'all. Gotta see how I'm chillin' once I park this luxury car. Hopping out feeling big as Mutombo. 20 on pump 6, Dirty Marcellus called me Dumbo. 20 years ago, can't forget.
Now, Kendrick delivers these bars with minimal breath, effortless delivery, and a few pauses except for when they should show up naturally in the verse. Let's compare that to truly going off the top in our estimation.
Because you don't deserve it if you don't not. This is straight hip hop, this is off the top. And when I rock, you feel it. If it's us, then you hear it. Please consider that the best agreed. The top #1 MC.
Now, this is not to say that every time you hear a lot of pauses or long breaths, that's automatically means that what you're hearing is truly off the top. And of course, it should go without saying that if you hear a verse later on in an album, that's probably a good indication that it was a pre-written verse. But in this case, this came out in fall, roughly September 2014, and To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't released until 2015 in March. The message here is that Kendrick is using a crucial aspect of expert freestyling here. Taking strategic breaths and pauses in order to gather your thoughts and think of new rhymes and lyrical directions. Most beginning freestylers try to string together freestyles and words and almost over rap by using filler, repetitive phrases like, yo, check it, yeah, or a phrase that you just spontaneously can't stop saying because you're going off the top. You know what I'm talking about. But we coach at How to Rap, and many experienced freestylers know it's better to train yourself to simply take a breath while staying on beat, or just pause and don't say anything until until you can fill in the next rhyme. The challenge here will be staying on beat while taking that long breath or stopping your rap for a second, and one of the best ways to get better at that is through drills and daily practice, as well as mastery of flow. Now, all of these things we go in depth on our freestyle course in the first link in the video description box below, so be sure to check that out. The second way you can tell the difference between a freestyle and a pre-written is simply by the wide gap in lyrical complexity between the off-the-top verses and the written ones. Again, compare these lyrics from The Future to Pimp a Butterfly verse to the lyrics when he's going off the top.
Now I can lend them my ear too, how to stack these residuals tenfold, the liberal concept that men do. 20 on 6, he didn't hear me. Indigenous African, only spoke Zulu, my American tongue was lyric. And if you know my flow, then you know how I go. Then you know Death Row, then you know Easy, then you know Dre, then you know Snoop, and you know it don't play. But anyway.
Now, again, it is objectively impressive that Kendrick can go off the top and actually tie his lyrical legacy to the West Coast legends he describes, but it's also clear there is a difference in lyrical complexity between anybody's, not just Kendrick Lamar's, off the top work and their pre-written. Let me just take a quick sidebar to say, yes, there are out of this world exceptions to this rule, most notably the late great Juice WRLD. I know you've been waiting for me to say it, and yes, he pretty much exemplified the true out of superhuman ways that people can go and get to off the top. We actually have a whole how to freestyle like Juice WRLD training that you can find here and in the video description box below. And of course, the recent freestyle phenom Harry Mack, whose prodigious freestyle abilities are so iconic at this point that literally Kendrick Lamar himself said Harry Mack has inspired him off the top. The real takeaway here regarding lyrical complexity is that Kendrick Lamar, while maybe not being able to go off the top at the level of course his writtens, he's able to weave relevant stories and stay to subject matters that are useful to him and he can come back to, like his West Coast legacy and all the legends that he mentioned while still rapping spontaneous. At How to Rap, we call these fallback topics. These are topics that are relevant to you or the situation you're going off the top in that you can always come back to if your mind goes blank or if you're filling in the flow and you land on another scheme. Kendrick does this quite often throughout the off the top portion of his Power 106 freestyle. As you just saw, he was referencing his West Coast legacy as a fallback topic while being on the West Coast, and throughout the flow he mentions his record label TDE, his crew, and many other relevant topics to himself. I want to see you in the comments. What fallback topics have you used or do you plan to use now knowing this strategy? Third thing is reacting to things around you. As far as noticing that this separates an off the top verse from a written verse, it's pretty obvious and self-explanatory, but let's look at how Kendrick Lamar smoothly handles the reaction of the DJ's scratches as he's rapping off the top and integrates it into the flow.
From the bottom of the soil since Adidas and Run DMC, sprinting like cheaters, we run this game and beat me. And E-Man on the beat right now, he gon' flip and please believe.
So again, Kendrick has the presence of mind off the top to not only reference something that just happened on the beat, but to actually keep the DMC, can't be me, please believe rhyme scheme. Just to be clear again, one of the ways he's able to accomplish this is what we talked about in number one. He's taking strategic breaths and pausing for a second to buy himself time to react to what just happened in the beat. That extra second after saying be me gave him the time to 1, react to the DJ scratch, 2, think of a rap about it, and 3, think of something to rhyme to keep the scheme going. So for you beginning freestylers, that might seem like a lot, but really with consistent practice and actually utilizing these tips, it can be done. We do have an additional video breaking down how to start freestyle rapping for beginners in 5 steps that's almost at 1 million views at the recording of this, which can be found also in the video description. Now, we've talked a lot about the differences between pre-written verses and off the top freestyles, but you should understand that you can and probably should at times mix and match these in a performance to get the most fans. Many of the well-known battle rappers from leagues like the URL and King of the Dot do just this, where they have pre-written raps prepared, but if a particular diss against them hits hard, they will think of a quick off-the-top bar or more in order to rebuttal it. Rappers like Corey Sharon, Disaster, and Charlie Clips built entire careers off this skill. Additionally, you can do the same when somebody finds out you're a rapper in person and asks you to rap right now, and y'all know without that happens when you first start rapping. Maybe start with a few written bars that help entice the listener to take you seriously, and then slide into a little off the top and reference them using the steps in this video. If you watch the entire Kendrick Lamar freestyle on Power 106 that we've been discussing, that's exactly what he does. He starts with that pre-written verse that ends up into Pimp a Butterfly and then starts going off the top. It looks a lot better not only for radio when you're already a poppin' rapper like Kendrick, but it will work for you, and it's a subtle trick. If you do that, you'll have the benefit of people taking you seriously for the first minute or 2 minutes that you're rapping and start listening to you as a rapper, while also having the benefit of showing people that you can rap about things around you, again, like Kendrick did. The most important thing you can get out of this video is that freestyle rap is a skill like anything else. You can improve upon it. There are secrets to getting it right. And don't think for a second that you can't improve to a point that would be impressive not only to your friends, but your future fans. So again, your first steps to master that skill are check out our daily freestyle course, comment below with your fallback topics so you're already thinking about it more. And if you like, be sure to check out all the other free info in the video description. I've been your host, Drew Morrissey. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.